49ers' decision to wait a little more than a month to start Jimmy Garoppolo until he could get a better grasp of the offense after giving the Patriots a 2018 second-round pick for him at the October 31 trading deadline is being validated. The quarterback is breathing life into a downtrodden franchise. Garoppolo, whose 4-year rookie contract expires after the season, has engineered 2 game-winning fourth-quarter drives during San Francisco's 3 victories in the 3 games he has started. The last 49ers quarterback to go undefeated in his first 3 starts was Y.A. Tittle in the early 1950s. Garoppolo also has consecutive 300-yard passing games, a feat that hadn't been accomplished by a 49ers quarterback since Jeff Garcia in 2000. In the 3 wins, Garoppolo, who still doesn't have a deep understanding of San Francisco's playbook, has completed 68.1% of his passes, 77 of 113, for 1,008 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions to post a 94.6 passer rating. The 49ers' failure to finish drives in the end zone has resulted in 15 made field goals over the last 3 games. As good as Garoppolo has been, much maligned Jaguars quarterback Blake Bortles has performed better during this span. Bortles is completing 71.4% of his passes, 65 of 91, for 903 yards while throwing 7 touchdowns without any interceptions to post a 128.6 passer rating in 3 December wins. Garoppolo faces his biggest challenge to date in Sunday's Week 16 contest against the Jaguars, who have the NFL's stingiest pass defense. Jacksonville leads the NFL in sacks, 51, passing yards allowed, 168.9 per game, opponents' completion percentage, 55.9, and opponents' passer rating, 65.2. The AFC South leaders are also giving up the fewest points in the league at 14.9 per game. The 49ers close the season on New Year's Eve with another tough opponent, the NFC West leading Rams. Garoppolo's early success hasn't created a sense of urgency to sign him to a new deal. The 49ers seem content waiting until the season ends to have contract discussions. Regardless of what Garoppolo does for the remainder of the season, he is going to be a largely unproven commodity with only a handful of starts. Garoppolo is practically in an all-or-say situation provided he finishes the season healthy. Even if Garoppolo struggles against the Jaguars or the Rams, any long-term deal he signs this offseason should be greater than the 4-year, $72 million contract containing $37 million fully guaranteed that Brock Osweiler received in 2016 free agency from the Texans after just 7 career starts. The 49ers probably need to negotiate a contract extension in conjunction with the trade in order to get Garoppolo, whose rookie contract is worth a little less than $3.5 million, on a long-term deal in this salary range. Garoppolo won't have a lot of incentive to sign before the period to designate him as a franchise or transition player ends on March 6, unless the 49ers are willing to pay the 26-year-old top-tier quarterback money even though he hasn't demonstrated for an extended period of time that he can perform like one. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, who was taken 26 spots ahead of Garoppolo in the second round of the 2014 draft and also is 26, isn't living up to expectations this season but was a leading candidate for MVP in 2016 before breaking his right leg shortly before the playoffs began. He became the NFL's first $25 million per year player in June. His 5-year, $125.025 million extension with $70.2 million in guarantees averages $25.005 million per year. The 49ers making a massive financial commitment to Garoppolo with such a limited track record wouldn't be unprecedented. The Packers surprisingly made first-year starter Aaron Rodgers the NFL's 4th highest-paid quarterback, by average yearly salary. In 2008, with essentially 1.5 years left on his rookie deal when he had only 7 career starts, Rodgers' 5-year extension averaged $12.704 million per year with $42.77 million in the first 3 new contract years, and $20 million fully guaranteed. Nobody could have predicted that Rodgers would become arguably the game's best quarterback when he signed the extension. Garoppolo has flashed enough potential that the 49ers letting him become an unrestricted free agent would be a risky proposition. Free agency would likely produce a bidding war for Garoppolo because ascending starting quarterbacks who have yet to reach their prime don't ever hit the open market in an NFL where there's a shortage of competent passers. 2 quarterback-needy teams are going to be flush with salary cap space in 2018. The Browns are on track to have to an NFL best $112 million of room. Assuming the 2018 salary cap is set at $178.1 million, the high end of projections given to teams at a league meeting last week, the Jets are projected to have just under $75 million of cap space before making any roster moves that could significantly increase their available room. 49ers using a franchise tag on Garoppolo would be the safest approach. The non-exclusive quarterback franchise tag should be $23.295 million with a $178.1 million 2018 salary cap. This tag allows a player to negotiate with other NFL teams, but if he signs an offer sheet, his team has 5 days to match the offer. If the offer is not matched, his team will receive 2 first-round picks as compensation from the signing team. Steep compensation effectively deters pursuit of franchise players. Negotiating with other teams is prohibited when the exclusive franchise tag is given. The 2018 exclusive number, which is the average of the top 5 salaries at a player's position once the restricted free agent signing period of the current year has ended, April 20th for 2018, currently projects to $24.767 million. This figure will decrease if any of the quarterbacks with the 5 highest 2018 salaries are released or rework contracts to lower salary cap numbers before March 6, when the franchise tag designation period ends. A practical consequence of the franchise tag is increased financial expectations. When a player is franchised, a competent agent typically uses the tag amount as a baseline or guide for a long-term deal. A second franchise tag in 2019 would be $27.954 million, a 20% increase over Garoppolo's 2018 franchise number. Garoppolo potentially being franchised in consecutive years could be used as justification for a long-term deal averaging more than $25 million per year with approximately $50 million fully guaranteed at signing. Redskins quarterback Kirk Cousins' embrace of a franchise tag may be providing players a new blueprint for how to handle the designation. Playing on the tag for the first time in 2016 gave Cousins a level of financial security where he could play hardball with the Redskins this year when given the designation for a second time as quarterback salaries escalated. Cousins is the first quarterback in league history to play 2 straight seasons on franchise tags, receiving another franchise tag in 2018 at almost $34.5 million. A collective bargaining agreement mandated 44% raise over his current salary, will make continuing to go year to year before hitting free agency in 2019 extremely attractive. That is, unless the Redskins are willing to make Cousins the NFL's highest paid player over Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford, who signed a 5-year, $135 million contract extension with an NFL record $92 million of overall guarantees during the preseason. Another option for the 49ers is placing the slightly cheaper and seldom used transition tag on Garoppolo. The transition designation, which would only give the 49ers a right to match another team's offer sheet, should be $21.028 million with a $178.1 million 2018 salary cap. There are limits to the creativity with offer sheets because poison pills were outlawed in the current CBA thanks to shenanigans with Steve Hutchinson and Nate Burleson in 2006. The Vikings signed Hutchinson, who was the Seahawks' transition player, to an offer sheet with a provision that guaranteed his entire contract if he wasn't the highest paid defensive lineman on the team at any point during the deal. Seattle didn't match the offer because left tackle Walter Jones had a higher salary. The